Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through or whatever you want to call it for Boku no Hero Academia Chapter 251. I'm super excited to read just because I love this series. It's one of those series that, you get these series every once in a while that personally stick with you for whatever reason, and you're just like, I personally absolutely love everything about it. That's just one of the things for me with Hero Academia is just, it's one of those series that's come along where I've been completely invested. Like B-Stars, like Hunter x Hunter, they're just these series that come along in your life where you're love them completely. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to read this week. Even though last week we got kind of clickbaited, it was called Ending, so I was like, oh, is something real big gonna happen? But no, it's just this Scrub Lord named ending. And I say Scrub Lord because it's pretty clear they're either in the story to be the person that the three in the work study take out before Endeavor to prove themselves to Endeavor, or there for Endeavor to save, or it could be even a combination of both, to save Natsuo. And I don't think Natsuo is just going to be like, oh, you saved me, we are completely fine and on great terms now. But I do think it'll be a little bit more of an icebreaker to get Natsuo to maybe open up a little bit more. And I think that's the first step. Communication, obviously, is the first step to growth a bit in the relationship. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where things go, even though, like I said, I pretty much am assuming this is just going to be the guy that the work studies take out before Endeavor. So here we go. Even under the most extreme, and it's titled 1 Week, and all I can think of is that song from the, from a million different things, but every time I think of the song 1 Week I think it's by Bare Naked Ladies, the thing I think of is the Digimon movie from being a kid, seeing the Digimon movie as a kid. That's all I can think of when I even see 1 Week written out like this, is I'm like, oh, the Digimon movie. Either way, though, let's actually read this thing. Even under the most extreme circumstances, heroes will never choose to kill someone. Can Endeavor save Natsuo from ending? But you killed that Nomu, didn't you? I'm the same as that doll. After the life I've led, it's hard to tell if I'm truly alive or dead. So, you can rest easy. Use those brilliant flames of yours, and this'll be interesting. So, if he does, Natsuo was thinking that maybe Endeavor had something to do with Toya's death, so if Endeavor refuses to even kill this villain, but takes him down without killing him, that would sort of probably lead Natsuo to thinking, hopefully maybe, okay, he wouldn't have done something that would have caused Toya to die. So we still don't know the details on that, but yeah, either way, let's continue onward. See Bakugo rush forward out of the car. And it's interesting, Ending has this quirk where we've seen these lines wrapping around. I don't know if he can control paint, if he can control lines, because it looks like the lines are coming up off of the lines painted on the street. But we have all three of them rushing in. You forgot these. And I love the little driver guy has this little handle he can pull to send out their hero costumes. Oh, that's funny. Kacchan, Shoto. Oh, and he calls him Shoto now instead of Todoroki. Interesting. I think that's the first time he's called him Shoto, isn't it? That I can think of. And Izuku puts on his gloves. Todoroki puts on the thing over his shoulders, which I guess is just meant to help him regulate his temperature. I think that's what it's for. And Bakugo puts on his gauntlets. Natsuo. Interns, eh? Make sure you sentence me to death properly this time, Endeavor. You're a fool for putting yourself off balance. Now's my chance. If I move right now, I'll be faster. And he looks at Natsuo and sees his face. And it looks like he hesitates for a second there. And now we're seeing the students run past him. My flames of hope. Even when your son's life is at stake, I guess you're still gonna play the hero. And it looks like he starts to cry. And Shoto rushes in forward. Let go. Focus it into a single point. Oh man, this art. Hold on. Things are frozen. I'm hoping nothing messed up with the recording there. And release of my brother. Because you took your time. What? Oh, and yeah, he's picking up more lines off of the street beneath these other cars. Huh? What? Killing me. This happens. And he throws all these other cars up into the air above Izuku. The corpses pile up. And it looks like he's throwing Natsuo in front of this other car. Condense it. Alright. Are we gonna see this new attack from Shoto? And Bakugo grabs Natsuo. There'll be no corpses while I'm around. It looks like Izuku's probably going to be catching the cars of people. He crouches down, Air Force smash, and knocks himself up into the air with the air pressure. I can do this. It's the same. Exactly the same. The same gist to it. Oh, is he going to grab them with Black Whip? Become able to do two things at once, subconsciously. That's right. We won't let you kill anyone. Once you can do that, add one more thing. 1 week. You three. None of your wishes. And we see Izuku grabbing the cars with Black Whip. An ending reacting here will come true. In Shoto, it looks like he pushes himself straight forward and attacks with condensed flame. We've seen Endeavor condense flames before, so it looks like he's doing a condensed flame attack like Endeavor does after charging forward with the ice pushing him. Will come true. It would actually... Their growth saved a life. And it looks like we have Endeavor rushing over and holding Natsuo now? Yeah. I really, really love this chapter. But I was about to say, I think it'd be really cool if, for those of you who have read or watched Katakyo Hitman Reborn, if Shoto developed a move similar to the X-Burner, but rather than using the flames to sort of balance himself or to offset the recoil of it, he just shot ice out from the one side and flames from the other to do a super move. But yeah, that's it. That was really, really good. Mostly action, so it was kind of shorter to read, but really, really good. The first comment I see clicking through, saying the art was a little difficult to follow. I feel that just because of... I've said that a lot in Boku no Hero Academia during the fights, especially during the Overhaul arc fights, or the Overhaul fight in specific. Sometimes the art in the manga for Boku no Hero Academia, when it comes to action sequences, I don't know if it's the way Horikoshi blocks things out, but sometimes it's a little bit hard to follow exactly what's happening on the panel to panel. And I've noticed some manga are different than others when it comes to this. With Boku no Hero Academia, sometimes, like, with the action, like, it feels like not every single movement is completely drawn out, so sometimes it feels like we're jumping from this movement or this area to this next one, and you just have to sort of fill in the blanks yourself, whereas like a total opposite to that would be Berserk, where it feels like in Berserk, like every single little movement is drawn out. So when it comes to a fight, you can tell exactly the spatial awareness of what's going on and how each character is moving. But yeah, this was a really good chapter, though. I like that Endeavor hesitated for a moment, and I think we're going to sort of learn more of why. I don't think it's going to be as simple as him hesitating. I think it might have something to do with Toya not wanting to lose another kid, but I think there's going to be something deeper to Endeavor hesitating for a minute because he saw his child in danger. I think that there's going to be a little bit more, maybe some more flashback stuff that we're going to learn from that. It'll be nice to see, because maybe this situation is similar, or maybe it reminded him of what happened to Toya somehow. But I do think it was really cool to see Izuku able to use Black Whip, because this is kind of what I want. I don't want it to be one of those things like they said where he just unlocks everything at once. I think this series has built Izuku's growth on learning to use things bit by bit. Learning to use full cowling, then learning to use air pressure, and now learning to use Black Whip a little bit. So I think the best thing to do is to introduce and have him learn the quirks slowly over time. He's just now barely able to use Black Whip to grab onto something, so he's far from just being some master adept user of it, but he at least can use it at the bare minimum now. So if he can do that at the bare minimum, plus he's getting upwards toward 20% if he really pushes himself with his full cowling, and even 20% does a little bit of damage to him and such. But you get the point. He's building up little by little, and I think that's good. Introduce one more quirk, build that up little by little while building up the other things. I think that's a good way to have Izuku grow rather than to just throw all these powers on him at once. We've got to see him do it. It almost sort of makes me want to think you can't do it the same way because there are more powers and you'll have to pace it a little bit quicker or it'll take forever. But Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aang could learn all 4 types of bending, but it was a slow burn with him learning and getting better at each one. I think we need that of just a slow burn of Izuku learning and getting better at each of these quirks. And of course I think logically it would make sense. There are some quirks that are probably super easy to learn, or maybe super easy for him in specific to learn, and then maybe some quirks will be difficult for him to learn. Or, difficult and specific for him to learn, or just difficult in general to learn. Because we've had that concept thrown at us before by All For One, where when All For One was planning to kill Best Jeanist, All For One said, "Wow, you are really, really strong. But I'm not going to steal your quirk, because though you are really, really strong, your quirk is something that takes a lot of learning, a lot of fine-tuning and figuring out how to control it, and to someone like All For One who can just grab quirks and stuff, why would he grab a quirk like Best Jeanist that he would have to learn to control and figure out and stuff, when instead he could just grab a quirk that makes him 3 times more powerful, then grab another one that makes him 3 times more powerful, and stuff like that. So it kind of makes sense that if you have to juggle all these different quirks, you're probably going to want to pick ones that don't take a lot of fine-tuning to figure out how to use. So because of that sort of inherent logic there in different people's quirks being easier or harder to use, I feel like some of them, it'll make sense if Horikoshi just wants Izuku to learn them like super quickly, if they're an easy one to learn, and then some are probably going to be more difficult, like Black Whip even. I'd say that's probably moderately difficult to learn. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think there was a lot of cool stuff that happened, but this was basically to show us the action and the cool stuff so that maybe next week we can see where that leads to, with these characters being like, okay, sorry, I had to edit out a sneeze right there. But we had to, because I didn't want to blow out the mic, super loud sneezing, sorry about that. But yeah, so all these characters who have now set their goals that we learned a few chapters back, and how Bakugo was able to save someone, Izuku was able to use Black Whip, Shoto was able to condense his flames and take down that villain. We got all that, and we're going to see some probably epilogue type stuff of them being like, okay, now we need to figure out what is next, or how do we improve upon this or do it again. And I feel like we're going to see a lot more of what's going to happen with Natsuo and Endeavor. So yeah, makes me excited for the future. I discussed this one for quite a while, but either way, thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of this chapter, what you thought of my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Boku no Hero Academia, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel, or talk to you there. If you'd like a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us on Discord, it's free and open for anyone. Just ask and I can give you a link. And if you'd like to help support the channel on Patreon, it is patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. And any amount helps, or if not, just thank you for watching, being part of the community here at the channel. So yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you all next time.